Yes, YouTube, hope that you're good. It's Ben Hawks with the Coach Consultant, and today we're going to be going over why your message is so important. And I love this video and I love this topic because it's one thing that will allow you to separate yourself from the rest of the market. And as everyone knows, that's my vision. I want to get as many online coaches out of market saturation as humanly possible, right? That is literally what I want, because I hate the whole everybody doing the same thing, talking about the same thing, using the same thing, and all of the bullshit that the mentoring space has put people into by using copy and pasted tactics. Whereas for me, your message is so important. It's so impactful. And I know we've spoke a lot about offers and we've spoke a lot about systems and content and different areas, but your message is the one thing that's going to allow people to actually kind of land and buy into you. So if you walk into a room of 100 people and you've got a message that people don't align to, they're not going to listen. If you walk into a room of 100 people and you've got a message that they agree with and align to, you're going to have 100 people who will be heavily bought into what you are doing. So when we are kind of looking at leadership and cultivation of culture and a movement, you could say, this is what a message is, and this is why it's so important. And there's so many different benefits, and I've listed out how many. I've listed out 7 benefits and a little bit of thing I want to talk about in a second here. But there's endless level benefits to having the right type of message. So when it comes to acquisition, content creation, paid ads, marketing efforts, emails, captions, call to actions, results, testimonials. If we have got a message that aligns with absolutely every single thing that we are doing in business, right, and what we truly believe in, and that market really agrees with that, you are going to have money on tap, or you're going to have a lot of benefits associated with it anyway. So step number 1 and understanding number 1 is people will buy based on how they feel, right? That's why people purchase. So before someone even buys something, it's going to help people actually feel something beforehand, right? That's what a message does. Yes, it's about results, service, professionalism, engagement, humor, everything else. But in reality, the reason that someone will purchase something is because of how something makes them feel. If you have a message and your personal brand aligns to them as a person, then they are going to have a much higher likelihood of actually sending that money, because there's less risk to actually purchase from someone who they feel like they trust. Right? If someone doesn't feel like they trust you because you've not got a clear message, you've not got much clarity, but someone else has, right? They're going to go to someone else every single time. So a message is going to allow you to help someone feel something while they are potentially in the pipeline of potentially having interest to buy your services. And how your message lines with them might be the one tiny little bit of percent that pushes them over the line. Number 2 is the fact that it will automatically, as a byproduct, basically give your audience immediate clarity and immediate confidence, right? Because again, if you have got 2 people who walked into a room, one person walked in, introduced themselves, said who they are, what they're about, what they're going to become, what the mission is, what they believe in, and then the other person didn't really say anything and just mumbled something, you can automatically trust that person straight away, right? Because you know where they stand. They know what you're about, right? Exactly, you've got that kind of transparency between the two. So audience clarity and confidence is so important, because it means that, again, if someone's got clarity and confidence and then if they see some results or you get into a conversation with them and overall they feel a lot more like kind of confident with you and they've got clarity with you, then they are going to feel better about the situation. If they feel better about the situation, they're going to purchase because, again, there's less risk. That is all this is, risk reversal, by making someone and showing someone that they should trust you and your services. Step number 4 is understanding that people buy identity. They do not buy information, right? So yes, that you may, so let's just say, for example, right, you're on this YouTube channel right now, you might have watched a few videos, but you've never purchased one of my programs. You might like the information. You might like the information that I'm talking about, and I can talk about smart scaling back to back for weeks and months and years, and what it is and what it's going to become and everything that I'm about. And I'll talk about my company message at the end, which you should already know anyway if you've watched a few videos. But in reality, the bottom line is the fact that my identity will seem more trustworthy to someone else. And I'm not saying that it is, because you might watch someone else's content and someone else's YouTube and think, actually, I resonate more with this person. And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. This is not about having a message that keeps everybody happy. It's about getting the right type of people who are right for you and right for this product through the line. And it's a natural qualification process, which I'm going to talk about in a second as well. But what we're kind of looking at here is people will always buy identity, right? Why would you buy Nike Jordans, right? Michael Jordan. Why would you buy a Tesla? You've got Elon Musk, right? You've got all of these different brands, or you've got like kind of Apple, you've got, I can't really say Amazon because it's a shipper, but you've got all of these different kind of massive companies. Yes, this is about, sorry, I think someone's cutting the lawn outside the window, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'll try and edit it out. But basically what we've kind of got here is identity. People are purchasing you, right? And if you don't have a message, you don't have clarity and you don't have confidence. The next thing from that point is always understanding that emotion will always be logic. Right? Imagine how crazy that sounds, because logic is what is true, what is apparent, what it is, what the principle is behind it. But when it comes to selling something to an audience, how someone feels with their emotion will always overcome logic, right? So this is why shit products out there, shit coaches, shit supplements, shit influencers, shit all type of stuff, they perform really, really, really well in some cases because they've emotionally got the marketing on lockdown, and what they are saying in their message is really highly actually resonating with this audience, yeah? The next thing that we've got from that point is a natural qualification process. If you've got real key clarity to your actual message, then what this is going to enable the people that line to it is going to attract. Right? The people who don't connect to it is going to detract them, right? So by having the right type of message, what this will basically enable you to do is actually naturally attract the people you want to work with, but actually naturally push people away who's not going to be the right fit. Because at the end of the day, if someone doesn't align to your message, which is what you believe in heavily, personally and professionally, they're never going to be right for your program. They're never going to be right for your services. So what we've got to look at from that point is really kind of heavily making sure that we are really, really kind of being clear and crystal clear and making sure that it's right? Because it can't be just something thrown out there, because it can put people off. But if you really think about what you believe in and something that really aligns to that audience, then you've gone to an absolute winner, right? If you look at Nike, just do it. If you look at L'Oreal, because you're worth it. This is the type of stuff I'm speaking about. Lastly, from that point, is if you do not have a clear message, then your content is just noise in the stratosphere that someone is digesting. Right? If you've got a clear message, then that will cut through the crowd and stand out to the people who want to actually listen to it, right? And like we've just said, for the people who, again, doesn't really align to, then it's just there. It doesn't really make a difference, because all you're trying to do is attract the right type of people. So what we're trying to look at here, and again, sorry for this lawnmower, it's just put me off in this video, I'm sorry. But what we've basically kind of got here is you've got your personal brand times your message. So there should never ever be a point where you are not focusing on your personal brand. But what I want you to kind of take into account and take into consideration here is your personal brand needs to be in synergy with your message at all times, right? Alongside that, everything else comes after that. So what I'm going to put down on here, if I've got a little bit of space in the middle, I'm going to put do it right. So do it right is my company message. It is what I truly, truly, completely and utterly believe in every single way, shape and form. Like, there is nothing that I do not believe in when it comes to that message there, right? I live and breathe that personally, professionally, and it's also a way that I think that is the best way to scale your business, because if you do it right from the start, you don't have to redo it down the line, right? So this is also not just about just doing it with business or with systems, with strategies. This is about being a good person. This is about doing the right thing. This is about doing it for you based on what you want. This is about getting people out of market saturation by using custom approaches rather than copy and pasted. But as you can see, I could list out, I've actually got a document where there's like 25 different ways that I think that you need to do it right when it comes to life and business, guys. So again, it's so important. And in essence, all I'm trying to look for here, guys, is for you to really sit and think, what is the thing that really resonates the most with me? What is the thing that I'll basically, imagine that you've got your offer. How can I explain my offer to people at high level and explain my beliefs, my methodology and everything that I'm about as a single statement? I'm talking 3 or 4 words that you you can slip into captions, into content, into carousels, into absolutely everything until it becomes cemented in people's minds that that is what they should know you for. So again, I think the lawnmower has just gone. I'm so sorry about that. I've been battling builders there. I've got lawnmower going off here. I'm actually looking at new office space next year, so I can actually potentially build a soundproof room, but I'll try and get that edited out for the lawnmower that was in the background. But again, guys, look, if you want any support with any of this in any way, shape or form, I actually have this as part of something called Offer Conquering within our program, which is an absolutely massive, massive, massive course just on an offer, just on a message, and making sure that you've actually got clear conviction and confidence behind what you're actually doing within your program as well, and making sure we've got everything done right from the start. So if you want to know more information, guys, you know what to do. Hit the link in my bio. I'd love to see you on the other end on a discovery call and seeing how we can help you.